During his tragically short-lived term in the Oval Office, John F. Kennedy was responsible for some of history's greatest presidential achievements, such as his strong opposition to Soviet forces, advocacy for civil rights, and the de-escalation of the Cuban Missile Crisis. But perhaps his most noteworthy achievement as commander-in-chief was the unbelievable amount of snatch he was able to score while in the position. Kennedy was perhaps the greatest Chad in American history, managing to bed hundreds, if not thousands, of attractive women, including Marilyn Monroe. Kennedy's sexual success would ultimately lead to his death when a disgruntled incel by the name of Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated the president in 1963, believing that Kennedy's godly sexual magnitude enabled him to hog all the world's poon for himself. Although it is impossible to truly know just how many times Kennedy was able to score during his 3 years in office, there is no doubt that this Chad-in-chief set a standard which future presidents could only hope to meet. An alumni of John Wayne-era Hollywood, Reagan's charm and charisma as an actor earned him historic success at the polls. But perhaps the greatest title boasted by the 40th was that of the greatest crack cocaine dealer in American history. Reagan used the power of the office to make the wonderful drug, once considered a luxury, fully and widely accessible to poor communities, minority groups, and underprivileged children. Reagan's product was not only easily accessible, but high-end as well, and continues to enrich the lives of millions of poor and struggling Americans to this day. Furthermore, the economic damage done to the African American community by his actions led to the cultural conditions that spawned gangster rap, which continues to be the United States' biggest cultural export. Ninth President William Henry Harrison currently holds the record for fastest playthrough of an American presidency. While most presidents can only hope to finish their speedruns within a 4-year term at best, William Henry Harrison completed his term within a legendary 31 days by strategically contracting pneumonia and dying in office. While many other speedrunners in the presidential community have made impressive times through strategies like resignation or provoking impeachment and assassination, there is yet to be another speedrunner who has topped or even matched the dying of pneumonia strategy. And considering that pneumonia has been rendered tragically curable in the 180 years since President Harrison's speedrun, it seems likely he'll be sitting comfortably at the top for the foreseeable future. President Benjamin Franklin had perhaps the most impressive resume out of anyone in the office, as a scientist, inventor, diplomat, and sex freak. But above all else, Franklin's most notable talent was that of kite flying. On the night of October 5th, 1750, Benjamin Franklin was preparing to go on his nightly kite flying session when a furious lightning storm erupted in the night. A lesser kite flyer would have given up, but not President Franklin. As expected, a bolt of lightning struck the president's kite. Miraculously, he survived, but his kite was destroyed and he was horribly dehydrated. Franklin reached into his satchel and withdrew a bottle of water to discover that the lightning strike had turned the contents of the bottle blue. But Franklin, being the daring president he was, took a swig of the mysterious electrified liquid and discovered that he had invented a delicious drink we now know as Gatorade. To this day, Gatorade's electric properties are still used by athletes across the world to grant abilities such as super speed and strength. And when their managers hand them their winnings, they'll look down at their fat stacks at the fat man who made it all possible. The father of our nation, Washington remains the undisputed prize jewel of the Oval Office. Following his unlikely triumph in the Revolutionary War against the British, Washington was unanimously elected as the leader of our new nation. President Washington was a people person. In fact, he liked people so much that he owned over 100 of them. Furthermore, President Washington broke many cultural barriers, as he was the first white man to ever be elected President of the United States.